Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're on top for another day. Today I'm going to try to I'm going to go out to Paintworks. I've got to get actually out of this big wiring harness over here. I've got to get the cable for the rear trunk out of here because we've realized that we've got to mock that up before we put the quarter on. So starting right here, I've got to get this cable out of here because we need that to put the back fender on, because we're probably going to have to cut a section out of the back fender to run that cable through, and it needs to be hooked up before we put the fender on because we can't get in there afterwards. I also need to get the hatch out. That hatch, I need to take the mounting brackets off that hatch, the hinges, and mount them to this one here, because again, now that we've got the rear quarters going on, we need this hatch. So I need to get the mounting, like the hinges from that, and I need the locking mechanism. So I'll see if I can get that done today, and mock up that gas cap so it's functional and working is the big goal. So back here I got to actually find a few tools and some of the bolts and some of the hardware for the gas cap that I took off here. Shouldn't be too hard to find. I got it all labeled. But yeah, we're gonna swing at the Paintworks. Derek's doing some artwork today. Maybe I'll get a shot of that. But I'd like to get the gas cap finished and mocked up. I need to elongate the holes a little bit just so I can adjust the gas cap, because it's a little bit tight to one side. We want to make sure that's square. So I'm going to get out there and see if I can get all that done today, because tomorrow morning we're going to put that last quarter on, and then we can get the car in a primer. I'm not too sure. I'm hoping he's got the paint samples done today. That's a fingers crossed. I know he's just swamp busy. I know he did get them into primer and got them all primered, and he was working on them. If not today, they'll be very soon, tomorrow or so. So I'm going to get the parts that I need, and then we'll swing out to Paintworks and get working on the Supra again. I'm going to see, without digging this all the way out, if I can just slide these out. Ooh, this might be a lot easier than I thought, which would be sweet. This is actually nice because what they've done, let me see if I can back that up, is they've left some room here so I can loosen those off just to kind of adjust them a little bit, like that'll play around and adjust. But those are on, both of them are on. So there's the locking mech that needs to go on that I will put on afterwards. I just need this so that we can set it and get it out so we can put the B pillars on, because we're going to need those. We're going to need those to align the B pillars. So now that I've got that, when I go back out and we put the last quarter on, I'll bring that out with me and we can get that on, just to make sure all the gaps and everything are correct. But now I'm going to slide out to Paintworks. We're going to see if we can't get the gas cap fixed up, so that we can get that quarter on. Maybe tomorrow morning we'll get that quarter on. Okay, so we're back out here at Paintworks. I'm playing around. I think what I'm going to do, so this is where the cable goes, up to the front here. Yeah, this is where it bolts into. I'm just trying to make sure here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it up underneath of this. I'm trying to find the shortest route because I need a little extra cable. So I'm going to run it up along the side there. Then it's going to come down in here, and I bent that out just a touch so I could tuck it in behind instead of in the front, because I can't see that that would bother anything. And then it's got to come out here. Now I brought some grommets with me. I think I'm going to punch a hole here, because I think that's going to go like about there. And I want to make sure that it's got, maybe what I'll do is I'm going to drill the hole. I'm going to oblong those holes on the fender first. I'll play with that. I'll get this in, then get it set up on the side here, to decide where we're gonna, because I do have to punch a hole to clip it into this. So I'm gonna play around here for another second here and see if I can figure out a game plan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna elongate these holes back a little bit, just a little bit, take them back, and then I'm gonna elongate these holes a little bit forward, just so that I can adjust this gas cap forward and back just very little. I only need a couple mils, but I do want to make sure that it's dead center before we go ahead and fix that release thing. I'm gonna get myself set up. I'm gonna do it outside here because those guys are sanding inside. I don't want to get any grinding dust over what they're doing. So I'm gonna get myself set up and I'll do it out here. Here we go. It should give me the movement that I'm looking for. I should now be able to kind of adjust that up. It should give me the movement I'm looking for so we can line up the gas cap. Let's go check it out. So I think that's about it. I've got it's popping up the way it should. I've got that gap kind of the way I want it all the way around. It's a little bit tight at the back. I can adjust that like so. Right. That's a good gap all the way along there. Now it is still down a touch in this corner, but I feel like we should be able to fill that in and make it all thing. So I'm going to tighten that down there and see if that's going to work for us. So now I'm going to take, this is the trigger mechanism, and it smashes, like it goes across here to lock it, and then when you pull it, it pops it open. So I'm going to get this mocked up, get in there with a pencil and kind of decide where it needs to go, so we can get that in there, and then we'll go up on the side here and see if we can figure out what we're going to do with it. So I'm going to use some permanent Loctite on the bolts that are going in here. I'm going to use some permanent Loctite. I'm going to lock them down good, just because I would hate to think those bolts ever came out, because once they come out, I mean, there's no way to get your hand back in there to put them back on. So I'm going to permanently Loctite those on. I've got locking nuts there that are going to lock on as well. This is just a little added precaution because, like I said, I'd hate to see it come off. Well, it would look like we have a problem here. So, I don't know how, you guys. Here's the back side of it. You can see the distance between this and this. And that's nowhere near long enough. I don't think that's going to work. Huh. Let's taper in a little bit. I'm going to have to get a measuring tape out and see what the distance is there. See if that's going to work. I don't know if that's going to work, guys. Alright, so I'm a little bit confused here, because this is the part of the instructions where it talks about the fuel cap. And we've done this here adjustment, circled in yellow. This here is this here that we made that bracket for, to make sure that it springs open when it's supposed to. But here, it's saying that this needs to be moved closer to the edge so that it will hit this striker, because this striker sits like this far away in the body kit. So I'm to move this closer, which is confusing to me because it's fixed on there. So I don't know if they want us to cut that off and use like a plastic weld to move that over. I'm not too sure. I'm going to play around here for a little bit more and see what I can do, because I've got the striker. I can put the striker there, no problem. This is the only part, and you can see right there it's circled in red, and it's got a little arrow, and it says down here in the instructions that if it's not in the correct spot that it won't work. So they want you to move the fuel lock back, this here. They want you to move it out, but I don't know how to do that because it's seamed, it's one piece. So maybe I'll pick the brain of Derek and Ryan here and find out what their thoughts are, but I think I'm going to end the video there today, guys, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to play around with it for a little bit. Like I said, it's a little bit confusing. Obviously, we need the lock to work because you need that gas cap to stay closed, and you want to be able to open it, obviously, when you're putting gas in and stuff, but you want the body lines and everything to be flat. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more. I don't know how they expect me to, like, I'm guessing they want us to cut it off and then plastic weld it on, and I've learned that Speed Grip is crazy strong. So there's definitely some strong products out there that'll hold, but I still find it a little bit odd. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit more. I'm going to end the video there today, guys. For those of you that are new to the channel, that are just tuning in, we're trying to get the gas cap to work. This is a 1997 Toyota Supra here behind me. It's getting a Veilside 4509 GTR body kit that we've already started putting on. We've got the 1/4 on over here on the other side. It's got so that quarter is already on. We're putting the one on the other side. I'm just trying to get the gas cap to work. But we are putting about $100,000 or more into the car. That's not including the man hours that are going into the car. That's just the material. It's getting a 2JZ single turbo, 500 to 600 horsepower. The interior still needs to be voted on. The color still needs to be voted on. There's still lots of votes. Everything we do to the car, guys, gets voted on by you guys. And when the car is done, we will be giving it away to one lucky subscriber. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for your chance to win it, and we'll see you in the next video.